YouTube is now live. 3, 2, 1, music.
YouTube is now live.
What did I do?
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Everyday Talks with Aiko.
And Psycho. Today is June 9th, 2022. Donald Trump is my president. And today's show is going to be outstanding and amazing. But I want to announce to everybody before I tell you to I'm trying to sound all professional and I'm screwing the whole thing up. But what I'm trying to say is don't forget to like this episode. Don't forget to subscribe, share us with your friends, and smash that thumbs up button so we get moved up in the YouTube algorithms. With that being said, we're going to be talking a little bit about NESARA and GESARA, and we're going to talk about Ukraine, Russia, and Turkey. So today I want to kind of cite some news sources. Today we're using GESARA.news. You can go there, follow along with us, or you can go and research later. It's GESARA.news, NEWS. Go ahead and follow along with us if you want. We're just kind of going over the information on this website, explaining what NESARA and GESARA are. We're going to talk about the impacts of it and maybe even a little bit of the history. And with that being said, also, our email address is aikoandpsycho@gmail.com. What we would love you to do is send us an email, and we'll be happy to send you a copy of that background that you're seeing on your screen right now. That's something we want to give away to our subscribers. So if you go ahead and send us an email, we'll go ahead and send that back to you. While you're sending that email, throw in anything you want us to talk about or any questions that you have, any type of questions. We'll answer them on our next episode. And with that being said, I'm going to throw this over to Aiko.
All right. So we're going to start off with the NESARA-GESARA law, which GESARA is Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. I have a list here that has in order of what's going to happen if GESARA law becomes active. And it's 20 items. Number 1, cancels all credit card, mortgage, and other bank debt due to illegal banking and government activities. Many refer to this as a jubilee or complete forgiveness of debt. Number 2, it abolishes income tax. So you will make all of your money. There will be no income tax anymore. The money will go to the people, and the people will have the entirety of their checks. Whatever you work for, you earn entirely. Number 3, abolishes the IRS, with employees of the IRS will be transferred into the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax area. Number 4, creates a 17% flat rate, non-essential new items only sales tax revenue for the government. In other words, food and medicine will not be taxed, nor will used items such as old homes. 5, increases benefits to senior citizens. Everybody knows that's good. Some people need more benefits because they can barely afford their own medications as is. But hey, since medications won't be taxed, it's going to be a lot cheaper. 6, returns constitutional law to all courts and legal matters, which is going to phenomenally help our world, as we all know. If you actually read the Constitution and find out the necessities of why we need that and why it keeps us a free country and why it makes us the most powerful country, I absolutely strongly encourage any viewers and to not only read that and get to know your Constitution and your rights, but to encourage others that you know to do the same. 7,
Absolutely.
reinstates the original title of nobility amendment. I'm going to be completely honest. That's one of the things I'm not sure what that is. Do you know?
What say it again?
Do you know what the title of nobility amendment is? I'm Googling it right now.
No, I don't. I can
I'm
Google
looking it up.
Okay.
I am too. If you guys knew, okay, so the title of nobility amendment is a proposed amendment to the United States Constitution approved by the 11th Congress on May 1st, 1810. And okay, it's wait, it's a proposed and still pending amendment. I think it was passed on 1810, submitted. Okay, what does it do?
If any citizen of the United States shall accept, claim, receive, or retain any title of nobility or honor, or shall, without the consent of Congress, accept and retain any position, pension, office, or what is that? Of any kind of whatever from any emperor, king, prince, or foreign power, such person shall cease to be a citizen of the United States and shall be incapable of holding any office of trust or profit under them. So I think it's saying, like, if you were like a prince or a king, you cannot be in our public offices.
Derek says, you think there's issues now. You haven't seen anything yet. Oh, yeah, I can only imagine. All right, well, number 8 establishes new presidential and congressional elections within 120 days of Gesera's announcement. The interim government will cancel all national emergencies and return us back to constitutional law. 9 monitors elections and prevents illegal election activities of special interest groups. Hey, doesn't that sound familiar? Something that
Yeah,
should have already happened these last several years? Wow. Okay, cool. That's going to be great. 10 creates a new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, ending the bankruptcy of United States initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933. Wonderful. 11 forbids the sale of American birth certificate records as chattel property bonds by the U.S. Department of Transportation. 12 initiates new U.S. Treasury bank system in alignment with constitutional laws. 13 eliminates the Federal Reserve System. During the transition period, the Federal Reserve will be allowed to operate side by side of the U.S. Treasury for 1 year in order to remove all Federal Reserve notes from the money supply. 14 restores financial privacy. 15 retrains all judges and attorneys in constitutional law. We have to ensure that our people that represent us absolutely follow our law because it is what gives us our freedoms to the American people that are
absolutely.
necessary to retain the independence that we have and the power that we have as the country that we are and that we should be representing. 17 establishes peace throughout the world. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work if we're pulling all of our, our military from pretty much everywhere except for maybe a select few places. I don't know how we're going to restore peace throughout the world. People are going to hate us if we start gaining power back. Um, let's see. Releases number 18 releases unprecedented prosperity with enormous sums of money for humanitarian purposes. 19 enables the release of over 6,000 patents of suppressed technologies that are being withheld from the public under the guise of national security, including free energy devices, anti gravity, and sonic healing machines. Number 20, and last but not least, quantum financial system, QFS, quantum voting system, QVS, the global currency reset, GCR, and revaluation of currencies, RV.
Okay. Now, with all that being said, and that was a lot of information just to throw at you, and you're like, well, what is this and what does it mean? Okay. Well, let's talk about that. What is NESARA and what is GESERA? GESERA is the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act. NESARA is the National Economic Security and Recovery Act. Now, we'll go into a little bit of the history of the NESARA Act because that one came in first, I believe. And I'm waiting for it to load so I can get some information and just take it from the site to share with you. Um, dun, 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 dun. I'm flying with an antique, y'all. Here we go. All right. So, March of 2009, the National Economic Security and Reformation Act was passed in a secret joint session of Congress with the walls of the House of Chambers lined with Navy SEALs and Delta Force. On October 10th, 2000, at gunpoint, surrounded by special forces. Hold on. I done lost my place. Surrounded by special forces, President Bill Clinton signed the NESARA bill into law, knowing full well that the Illuminati were in charge and that this law was never to be enforced. No one wanted to enforce NESARA because the law required the physical and permanent removal from their government positions of all those who had committed treason, which included the U.S. President, VP, presidential cabinet, all members of Congress, various government departmental heads, and all 50 governors of the 50 states, judges, and others. At 10 a.m. on September 11th, 2001, NESARA was to be implemented. However, computers and data of the beneficiaries of the trillions of dollars in prosperity funds were destroyed on the second floor of the One World Trade Center towers during the September 11th attack. So basically, they've been trying to hide these through different things. I don't even know what to say. I didn't even realize it was all that deep. But it's some pretty scary stuff. And just that this information is out there is a little bit scary because remember, in every piece of fiction, there's one grain of fact. So, you can't have fiction without a fact. So, I mean,
That's
does
true.
it sound unrealistic? Absolutely. Could it happen? Maybe. We don't know. But we wanted to inform you of this information and just kind of put it out there. Take a look at this. A lot of people are saying that this could be coming, that this could be happening to us. We don't know, and the way that things are looking and stuff like that, it seems like it could lead to something like this, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah. When you're looking at like the food factories and the food places that are, we've had what, 19 or 20 of our major food areas have been literally exploded. When has that ever happened? I'm just curious. Can you guys ever remember another time where we had more than 20 of our food distribution warehouses and manufacturing areas just all of a sudden it blow up or have planes hit them or just catch on fire?
Last I checked, almost never. If they did, it was like once in several years something may have happened. But the entire place, if I remember correctly, was never burned down because they took initiative and it was caught early enough that they were able to stop the spread of the fire or whatever, and or save some of the animal or people's lives in these situations.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is
Yeah, and the moral of the story is don't discount anything because it seems far-fetched. Because I promise you, 2 years ago, if I would have told you you're going to be paying $6 a gallon gas and there's going to be food shortages and there's no baby formula, you would have told me I was crazy. That never happened in the United States, and that it did. So don't ever discount something because it sounds far-fetched to you. Because I want you all to remember, in every piece of fiction, there's one grain of truth. And that's that. I mean, there could be something true about this. So it never hurts to give yourself more knowledge, even for us older folks where we lose something maybe we didn't need or whatever, to put something new in.
True.
But do it. It's important. And I think with that being said, if you have any questions on this, again, the website was justSarah.news. Go and check it out for yourself. Now we're going to move on.
All of our items into the description below after the video fully uploads, so that you guys can click on where we are getting the information from and or click on other links in justSarah.news because there's plenty of information out there on this website. And Derek says rainbow currency, get to know it. So that's what I was going to jump into whenever you're ready.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's go into rainbow
That's
currency.
the second option I have pulled up anyway. It says, what is rainbow currency? It's still on justSarah.news, everybody. Again, this will be in the description, but it's justSarah.news/rainbow-currency. So check it out for yourselves. It says, a rainbow currency is the real value. The rainbow currency originates in the NESARA Law, Section 10, creates a new U.S. Treasury rainbow currency backed by gold, silver, and platinum precious metals, ending the bankruptcy of the United States, initiated by Franklin Roosevelt in 1933. A rainbow currency backed by precious metals has value unlike the actual U.S. dollar with no real support. Reducing record debt priority for Trump. I'm just reading what this is saying. And the source for the first option that I read, it says is Nasera Law or New Design, and it has you can click on both of those links. The reducing record debt priority for Trump, it says you can click on this. It's blue. White House says reducing record debt will be the big second-term priority for Trump. The accumulated debt is on track to surpass the size of the entire economy next year for the first time since World War II. So this is some old information. However, we're going to go over it because it's discussing this in terms to the rainbow currency. And so since World War II, and breach its all-time record in the coming years. On the 2016 campaign trail, Trump promised to wipe out the nation's debt altogether over the course of his presidency. Sources for that is thehill.com. Again, you can click on that from here. So I think this is going back in time with this, just based on some of the stuff I'm reading currently. Currency revaluation, RV. A revaluation is a calculated upward adjustment to a country's official exchange rate relative to a chosen baseline. The baseline can include wage rates, the price of gold, or a foreign currency. Currency revaluation can be triggered by changes in the interest rates between various countries and large-scale events that affect the overall profitability or competitiveness of an economy. Sources at Investopedia.com. I'm going to go over the last few because there's only a few left, and I guess that you can get all these sources, go to all these sources for these short paragraphs and read up more on it. What is special drawing right SDR? The SDR was initially defined as equivalent to 0.888671 grams of fine gold, which at the time was also equivalent to $1. After the collapse of Bretton Woods system, the SDR was redefined as a basket of currencies. Source IMF.org. Corrupt systems implosion. Markets will have to absorb higher rates, and there is too much debt. This is one of the best macro setups in history for gold and silver. Precious metals will see dramatic wealth enhancement when inherently false and corrupt systems and currencies collapse under their own weight. More money creation is just a masked form of bankruptcy in which default is avoided, quote unquote, at the expense of the underlying currencies. Excuse me. In such inevitable cycle turns, the real advantage of precious metals will rest in their historical role as wealth preservation insurers. The supply of these critical assets will make them harder to acquire. The key, therefore, is to buy your insurance before rather than after the financial fire. Source is on YouTube, so that's a video. And this is bringing it to biblical. It says, God wins, it's going to be biblical. The most important message from POTUS. Is this an announcement of the Great Awakening? Is this the stormtroops moving out? His speech has so many Gessera hints and references. It's going to be biblical. God wins always. Don't be scared of the riots and looting. Trump vows to mobilize federal resources in address to nation. Make surprise trips to church to cut fire. That says it's on FoxNews.com.
Yeah, you're reading articles, like the headings on articles. You're like literally not even talking about rainbow.
This literally says, this is literally titled at the very top of this article, what is rainbow currency? This is everything that it says on that page. That is literally all it's giving me
I was
on what is
going
rainbow
over the
currency.
article in Jacera.news, and you were like literally reading all the headings of the articles. I don't know what happened. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay.
I do have a question about the Nasera Jacera stuff. So part of this is they're going to abolish the IRS. How do they like how are we going to go about doing that? Like, what is this tax change going to be like for your everyday American? You know, what about the employees of the IRS? Are they just going to get fired, or
no? It said that they're going to get moved over to an entire another section. It'd be sick to find that again. Hold on.
What was that, number 3?
Okay. What is rainbow currency?
They will be transferred to the U.S. Treasury National Sales Tax Area for 1 year.
Okay. That makes a little more sense. I was wondering about like that, and I'm assuming And I don't mean to change the topic here, but it's been nagging at me. Number 14 restores financial privacy. Is that gonna like repeal like the Patriot Act banking stuff, where like they're trying to control banking information and know who's doing what and where and tracking money and stuff like that? I wonder if that's gonna be like a complete reversal of that.
I hope it is. I don't like that. It's none of their damn business.
It really is none of their business.
I
The
agree.
fact that the Constitution gives us our privacy rights as well, I believe. I'll need to double over that because I haven't read it in a while, to be completely honest. But that being said, like, we have rights to privacy and everything. We have rights to whatever we buy. It is ours. No one else can have it unless they legally and rightfully purchase it from me or whatever. So that being said, that's why we are a republic. That's why we are a capitalist society, is because it is literally the best you're going to get at the rate that things are. And going into a socialist collapse and flush down the toilet, because that's what that
Okay,
is.
guys,
Is just a no.
I have rainbow currency.
Okay.
Listen, this is from CFAjournal.org. Rainbow currency is the universal expedient household digital money, is driven by the Safe Zone open network of online and offline quality businesses across the world. It has zero transaction fees and enables you to do instant online and offline shopping. Rainbow currency originated as a pure currency with absolutely no ties to any specific business. It is the first ever cryptocurrency that is integrated with a nonprofit organization called the Rainbow Currency Foundation. So that's something we need to look up, is the Rainbow Currency Foundation. Who is that? More than 3,000 co-founders spread across 157 countries have formed the Rainbow Foundation. Together, these co-founders have invested in more than 30 billion twinkles, the terminology that refers to the rainbow coins. Rainbow currency is a true digital currency that fulfills all the legitimate requirements that must be taken into consideration for your next investment. It is a specifically designed platform founded by Mike Demarais, Jin Chung, and Christian Baroni in 2019 as a means to make Ethereum technology easier to reach for non-technologists. Rainbow currency, it's in parentheses, you have YEM, will introduce cryptocurrencies to the remaining 99.8% of the universe that doesn't use them for the first time in the promising history of digital currency. Hence, it's the first digital currency to go mainstream due to the worldwide economic backup that Rainbow currency is hosting via its universal open network of top quality businesses in the safe zone.
So I wonder if this is almost a response to China's own worldwide digital crypto that they're trying to push. I think some places in Africa are starting to use this. I wonder if this is like the West's response to like that type of crypto.
It could be, because they're talking about you can make daily payments for shopping and other services at point of sales and online privately, securely, swiftly, and without charges. They're saying the primary reason why this digital currency was designed was to discourage the bad people out there from shopping and trading in rainbow currency, as you must formally identify yourself before you start spending the money via POS.
And I wonder how this is going to be served. I mean, if you're trying to get to the everyday person, obviously they're not going to be that technologically advanced. Like, is this going to be something on a card? Is this going to be a chip? Something implanted in someone?
Things are going, I'm going to assume chip. They're already chipping people for companies and stuff to wave your hand in front of a sensor so you can get into the company because it's that high tech and blah, blah, blah. They're like, oh, this is great. No, it's not. I see that biblically as well when it comes down to the mark of the beast. I believe that's a chip because everyone's going to be required to have it. It's going to have all your data and information on it. You won't be able to enter buildings without it. It's going to be on your forehead or it's going to be on the back of your hand. And the back of your hand is would be the most ideal. If you go shopping, you will have to have it. You will need it for everything. Yeah, so I absolutely believe that. Yeah, when it comes down to it, the mark of the beast ultimately will be a chip. It's not a tattoo, like some people do believe.
This sounds like the currency that we might see in chip form.
it would make sense. I mean, think of it. Bitcoin is and everything um, internet-based currency is blowing up.
It
And it
is.
still is continuing to blow up, and that's not a good
Well,
thing because that means that you can be traced. Period. End of story. The cash I love because if I go and I spend cash somewhere, they can't go, oh well, he spent it on this and he bought this and he was exactly here at this exact time, because people are like, geolocation is a load of shit. No, it's not. There are people that use freaking Uber, and it lets the Uber driver know exactly where you are at the airport, so they can pick you up at the exact gate that you're standing at. So if you, so no, geolocation and everything, you can say all you want that it doesn't work because 2,000 Mules proves that you're all a bunch of liars, because that, let's just be honest, the left are the ones going against that movie. But the reality is, if it's not that as if it's not that concrete and does not work that efficiently, then honestly, we're pretty safe. We're pretty safe in the sense that the government cannot track us down, right? Wrong, because they can. Everything you use that has internet, cell service, whatever, it can be tracked. You can be located down to the exact place you were, the time you were there, where you are now, how long it took you to get there based on the time that you got there, and they can trace the entire line to where you were, where you are now, where you end up later. I mean, it may take some time, but because technology continues to get better and better, and 5G especially is becoming such a high thing, I looked into 5G. That crap will mess with you real bad. In fact, the signals will literally mess with your brain and your heart rate and everything. Because I started turning off my phone recently, just as an example, and I have slept better than ever. If I sleep with my phone shut off, I'm perfectly fine. But if it's turned on, I sleep for crap.
To answer Derek in the comments, yeah, they are all going down, aren't they? Bitcoin, Facebook, all the like. Definitely signs of a
Oh,
major economic fall coming.
oh, for sure. I mean, definitely when you consider that the government is paying and or threatening people to dump out milk, burn down chicken farms, blow up factories that produce the majority of our meats and or other produce items and foods. So yeah, I mean, if we go into fall and things are going to be limited and we're hardly going to have any food or anything, you can absolutely one infinitely percent blame it on the government, because it's sad that people believe the government works for them and that they want the best interests of the people, because right now, no, they don't. At least the people in charge currently do not. They want to see you fall, they want to see you suffer, they want to take control, and they don't have the
Yep.
right now. And if you will quit giving them the right to do what they're doing, we can make a change, and we could stem from this and go a different path that actually equates to the betterment of America and its citizens. Geofencing as well. What is that? That's what Derek just commented. What's geofencing?
Say it again. Geo what?
Geofencing.
I don't know. Let's look
Geo
it up.
fencing. Okay, let's look it up.
It says create a virtual geographic boundary around an area by means of GPS or RFID technology, enabling software to trigger a response when a mobile device enters or leaves the area. Ooh.
I see. I like it.
Oh, wow. So yeah. So that means that you could, if you had one of those just like around your house, you could see who enters that range and everything. Oh my gosh.
But what's it used for? So here's the thing, it's a service that triggers an action when a device enters a set location, like coupons, notifications, engagement features, security alerts.
I imagine you could have.
Businesses are finding creative ways to make use of these virtual boundaries.
Jeez.
I imagine the usefulness is unlimited for something like that. I mean, even just for peaceful means, just commerce in general, it's kind of. I can see that. It's pretty dope. That's pretty dope, as I'd say. Now, what I'm wondering about, so gas prices are through the freaking roof right now. What about natural gas and like the gas going to your house, stuff like that? Where are the prices on that?
I heard those are going up. I'm all electric, so hey.
I mean, eventually you'll go up too.
Well,
What
I mean,
type of-
yeah, when the truckers and everything,
Yeah.
and when all this initially started, we still have boats uh, with all sorts of shit from Amazon and packages and stuff that people are still expecting that have been hanging out there for the last freaking year, thanks to the economy and everything being shut down, people losing their jobs and or being unwilling to work, thanks to the government supporting them under the Welfare Act and everything that went into play. And so they still have an underlying issue and overlying issue of not having enough workers to unload these boats, because they have those giant cargo ships out there that are still just sitting there with that new phone you ordered, or the book you ordered from Amazon, or whatever and wherever you ordered from, yada yada, because we don't
Yeah.
have enough workers. And this is
The fun
entirely
part
government
is
instituted.
the news quits talking about it, so people think it's over, and it's not.
It's
Kind of
not.
similar to the people that got left in Afghanistan. They're still there. They are still there. They're still trying to. The ones that have survived the Taliban so far are still trying to get home, but nobody seems to care.
Yeah, and they're and or being tortured for information and such. Let's see. How do you think
Shit.
electronic traps that are basically undetectable get criminals? Yep, that about sums that up. Geofence.
All right. So let's go into the Ukraine, Russia, Turkey, gas prices, and tie all that together.
While you're doing that, I have
And,
to run to the restroom, so I will be right back.
oh my God, we are live.
Oh well,
Okay.
I'll be back.
Um. Okay. So we have Jordan with us, and he is going to talk about those things. So take it away, and I'll have some questions for you as we go through.
Oh, right. Well, in recent news, a Brit sentenced to death issues a stark warning, and this guy was a mercenary for the Ukrainian side. He got captured. His warning is pretty much don't get into a war you don't really understand. This poor guy is facing death. Russia's not seeing these guys as people covered under the Geneva Convention because they're not obviously nationals fighting for their nation. They're coming over and trying to destroy Russian assets. Yeah, it's big right now. Apparently, foreign recruitment is dropping in Ukraine, which is seen as a good or a bad thing, depending on who you are. I mean, to top that off, the war is getting bloody. I mean, Russia is seizing the East pretty fucking good. The artillery units that we sent over for the Ukrainians to use are blown up. And I don't see a point in keeping funding for a war that's just
Not working out. Yeah. There's no there. What's the benefit to the U.S. taxpayer in this war? I'm just curious.
I can't find one. I mean, so far we sunk over 30 billion in. How much more are we going to keep sending?
Well,
We have-
40 billion. Last I heard, 40 or 45 billion. They're getting ready to send over.
It's astronomical, but we can't, pave roads, get food out to, the hungry, and fix our own problems in here. We really, and I think part of the Jacera Act, which really appeals to me, is it makes America focus its attention on America. That's what we need to be focusing on. Not
There's absolutely nothing wrong with being, a nationalist. There isn't. There isn't anything wrong with being patriotic. And I don't understand when those terms became so derogatory. There's nothing wrong with loving your country. Everybody needs to love their country. And the fact is things that happened in the past formed who we are today. So we need to understand that and move forward instead of being stuck in some sort of time loop.
Well,
It's time to move on.
the thing with that
And
is
love your
that's
country.
exactly what's wrong with it, is the fact that people love their country. The fact that the government has so many people under their thumb right now, and it's crushing their spirits and convincing them that this is the way the world needs to go and that we need to become this socialist society and everything. The fact that people are going against that at all, the government's obviously going to label that as bad. They're going to go, oh, well, these people are now evil. They're the terrorists. They're treasonous and blah, blah, blah. No, we're not. And the fact that it's become such a bad thing says a lot to begin with, because Now you've got the government labeling us as terrorists in our own country that we are trying to help and fix, and that's a problem.
Yeah. I'd rather 40 billion go to aid for Americans than 40 billion get destroyed by the Russian war machine for nothing that benefits us.
The money is funneled back, says Derek. Yeah, that makes sense.
Doesn't fucking surprise me.
No, not at all. But I mean, how can we even give ourselves 40 billion? We can't do that. We're in debt. We shouldn't even be able to give any other country money. They're going, well, we'll just print more. No, if I have $50 million, it's $50 million. But the moment you go and print 50 million more, it's no longer worth $50 million. It's worth half
What
of
I'm
that.
wondering, what I'm really wondering about this whole thing with funding the Ukraine is, like, wasn't the Minsk agreements between Ukraine, Russia, the separatists, France, and Germany? Why aren't France and Germany stepping up to the plate here? I mean, this is a European problem. Let's be honest here.
It is.
It really shouldn't have any major effect on us like it is now.
The biggest thing that should be seen as concerning as well is the fact that if the Ukrainian president dies, they're already planning on finding someone to replace him. The American government and anybody in America should have absolutely no say in that. We have no say in that. It's not our country. We do not own them. They are not a part of America officially in any sense. So we should not be deciding who replaces Zelensky. And I had to take a minute to remember his name. But we do not have any say in that. Let them decide their own government. Let them vote for their own people. Do not send them billions of dollars. I mean, again, I will bring it back to we are funding both sides of this war. We are not on one side of this war because we are buying billions of dollars worth of fuel from Russia. Therefore, we are funding Russia at the same time as we supposedly are only focused on Ukraine and their people and helping them out. That's a load of shit.
Yep. Nope. And what really bothers me about that is Biden's whole response to this, and like the U.S. intelligence agencies sharing U.S. intel about Russia with the Ukrainians, and Biden not being able to stop them from doing that. That should be concerning to every American that all these agencies are overstepping Biden.
And that's a valid point.
Yeah, what's really going on here? Like, let's not start another fucking Cold War. Pardon my language. Let's not do that.
I mean, what we need is we need people to step up. Like we've said multiple times, we need people to step up. And yes, the pen is mightier than the sword. But if it absolutely came down to it, the sword may be necessary, and people need to be willing to do that. If it absolutely comes down to it, we need to take back our country. You know, I mean, ultimately, yes, Jassera Law would be a great thing for this country when it comes down to re-election and whatnot, and they will take down these corrupt government. They will take these people down. They will throw them in prison and stuff. Keep an eye on where they go, what they do, and stuff now, because you need to know what's going on, because they don't care about the right or the left. They say they care about the left because you're on the quote unquote you are on their side right now. But again, when they get their way, you will all, just like we will be the first, you will also be the first with us to go down, because they don't care. They'll shoot you, blow you up, flush you down the toilet too, basically, in a sense. So you're in the exact same boat as we are, whether you like it or not, and whether you choose to believe it or not. You are in the same boat as we are. The government doesn't care about the right. They want to call us terrorists and everything. Fine, label us whatever you want. But as soon as you leftists, and I hope to God you don't win this situation and this war that's going on in America right now, I hope to God you do not win this, because it's going to destroy you as well. Just a reminder that basically Biden during the elections and everything, he would go to every single group and literally stood up and said, BLM, I care about you guys. You're great. I love you. I'm going to support you till the day I die. Blah, blah, blah. F everybody else. They suck. Then he went to the next group. You LGBT people, I love you so much. You're the backbone of this country. You're great. F everybody else. Screw them. They don't matter. I'm standing up for you. Went to the next conference. I love you. Blah blah blah. Screw everyone else, and so on. And it continued. That's exactly what he did.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
He literally said, "Screw everyone but you guys. You're the group I care about." Then went to the next group and told them the exact same thing. Screw everyone else. I love you guys. You're the number one in
We
my
call
heart.
that
I mean,
we call that vote hoeing.
yeah. But the problem is that the left doesn't see that, and even some of the people on the right don't even see that. But too many people don't see that. Just blatantly putting it out there. Too many people don't see that. If people actually paid attention and stuff, I mean, he had a green screen for a good chunk of it, and we have proof because he's got two hands on the side of the what are one of those things called that they stand behind and make their speech? What is that called? I can't remember. Anyway,
Podium?
whatever it is. Yeah, thank you, podium. Yeah, when he stood up on the podium, and he's literally got two hands. He's got his actual hands are on the top, like flipping through the book, but he's also got another left hand on the side of the podium. And I'm just like, it's clearly green screen and no one's seeing it. They're like, whoa, no, they just messed up during the editing. What editing? It's live, supposedly. It's supposed to be a live feed. Trump had millions of people in the stands. Biden had like 50 to 100. And they want to tell and they want to convince me that he won? No.
Well, Hillary had
Right.
the same amount too, which is funny. It's not just like this is a one-time thing. It's like they never can get people to their damn rallies.
No,
I
they
wonder
can't.
why.
Well, okay, I'll tell you one reason why Hillary couldn't, and I'm so glad that she didn't win when the elections went down to her, because I remember watching just a short bit of one of her things, because I was like, okay, then when it's sorry, it's when I just started getting into politics, so I didn't have any idea about what was going on with anything. The reason I absolutely despised her the first time I saw her was because
Mm-hmm.
she was at one of her little conventions and she said, and I quote, "Christians have no right to believe the way that they do." And she went on about when she became president, she was going to put a stop to that. We have
Mm-hmm.
no right to say what we say. We have no right to believe what we believe. And she was going to put a stop to it. She was coming after Christians. There's many
Quick,
ways to get into heaven, and we have no right to say that there's only one. I'm like, she specifically targeted Christians, not any other religion, not any other people, Christians. I'm like, whoa, whoa, nope,
Yeah, that's so
nope.
crazy.
yeah.
I'm
Do
like,
we?
every other religion says essentially that there's one, maybe two ways to get into heaven, pretty much.
Yeah.
So if you're going to signal out Christianity because we say that there's one way to get into heaven, you need to single out, sorry, not signal, single out every other religion and every other group or whatever that says the same thing, which is every other group and every other religion for the most part, really, except for maybe certain things like atheism and stuff because they don't believe there's a God or a heaven to begin with. So you can't really single them out, I guess, because we're going to be reincarnated as far as a lot of other people believe as well. So, and here's the thing, people
Did
have a right to believe what they want to believe and see things the way that they want to see them. The reality is that every religion believes it's the right religion for whatever reasons they believe that it is. Same with every country
Mm-hmm.
believes that their law is the best and stuff in a lot of cases. So that being said, people have a right to choose and stuff, and the fact that she singled out Christians specifically, nothing else, no one else, no other group, no other religion, no other anything, said a lot to me. Because I watched a little while after that too, and she never went into Buddhists have no right to, and or Islam has no right to, nothing. It was Christians, and then she went on about how she was going to help the country and get rid of us. I'm like, whoa, hold up.
Yeah.
Did we talk about the arrest of Ryan Kelly?
Please let us.
No.
Yeah, it looks like the FBI arrested him. I guess he was running for governor of Michigan on the Republican ticket, and he's being arrested in connection with the J6 event.
That's nuts. I think that they're just trying to get him out of the way.
Probably. I mean, how many Republicans are running up in Michigan against Gretchen?
Well, they denied 3 of them access to the ballot on the Republican side. 3 of them got denied onto the ballot, even went before the Supreme Court. And now we've got, Tudor Dixon, Garrett Soldano, and Ryan Kelly. I think there's a couple others, but I can't remember their names if there was any more on the ballot. Now they've already taken out Ryan Kelly. They're charging him with insurrection for the J6. And then they're also going after him for knowing the people in the Whitmer plot. So I'm not really sure. They're coming at him from 2 angles on this. So it looks like he's going to be off the ballot for 2022. That leaves you with Tudor Dixon, who I really don't know a lot about, and then Garrett Soldano, who I really don't care for. So I'm like, well, I'm not really sure what we're going to do here.
It does sound like political censoring to me personally, but
It absolutely
It
is,
does
which is illegal.
sound like law enforcement's being used to do some things. And like, there is a video of him standing outside waving a flag on the J6 insurrection. Why wasn't he arrested a couple of years ago with the rest of those guys?
That's a good point.
Why'd
It's
they
probably
wait
because he
after?
has information that they don't want out as well. That's a possibility too.
He's giving him shit over the Michigan debates up at Mackinac over the vaccine mandate that they're trying to put on people, the mask mandating over that. So I know he was giving him shit over that as well. But I mean, they're trying to tie him into the plot against Gretchen Whitmer, and
Oh my gosh.
that's nuts.
we are literally slowly turning into China.
It's getting crazy.
Well, yeah, that doesn't surprise me when people like Biden and the rest of our Democratic government, most of them, and some of our Republicans too, for that matter, are in the pocket of China. China pays them.
Yeah,
they do. They send over our information. They sell us out. They give to China and Ukraine and Russia and all these other countries massive amounts of information, money, food, water, sources of all sorts of sources, and then they expect us to just bow down. No, the government bows to us. We are the people. The government is ruled by, run by, overseen by us. End of story. And that is clearly our constitutional right. Go ahead.
Because we are the chosen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Shoot, anybody from the 1800s and stuff is rolling in their graves right now because of where the government is. It's not just our founding fathers. It's everyone in the 1800s and stuff who enjoyed and loved their freedom and fought for their country and stuff. Anybody who's not alive right now from any time in the early 1900s or 1800s or anything is rolling in their graves seeing us do what we're doing right now. They are, because it's a horrific sight to them. Everyone loves to say just the founding fathers. Nah, the entire freaking country buried under our feet on any part of land that we might be on. They're rolling in their graves too. Their spirits are wailing at us, and we can't even hear them. They're over here going, "Stop! Stop it! You're killing yourselves," and we are. That's the reality. We are. We're destroying ourselves. The saddest part is willingly.
We sold our jobs out. Now we're selling our material out. Now we're just selling everything out.
Yep. And we're just burning everything down.
Yep. Let's just be completely reliant on what? Right?
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. If we continue to burn down these chicken farms and blow up these factories and stuff, we won't have anything to rely on.
Exactly. It's going to get bad before it gets good.
Absolutely. And I love the plan for Build Back Better. It's going horribly. it's never going to work. If Build
I
Back
read an
Better
article.
means blow
I
up
read
and
it.
then rebuild, no. That's not how that works. Go ahead. What article?
I read an article that Biden and his staffers are at an all-time low morale-wise because of how poorly it's going.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I can see it. You can definitely see it. I mean,
Without a
yeah,
doubt. I mean, it's a hot mess over there.
Take out the
Yeah,
career
bankrupting-
politicians and instate some new people that want and will fight for and ensure laws that benefit the people of America and not just the government officials.
Yep.
By the way, we're at 50 minutes. I think we can go for another 10, 15 maybe.
I think
I
we
was gonna
can.
say.
There's enough stuff here to just start just like getting it, guys.
Okie dokie. We just got silent. Everybody got silent. Why'd everybody go
Oh,
silent?
I thought he was still going to say more, so I was I was
Oh.
honestly waiting.
No, but in other news, I guess the United States is running out of Javelin missiles to give to the Ukrainians.
Oh no.
Wait, that's not a good thing. That means we're
I
running
know.
out, period. If we're running out of, oh my God. If we're running out
You
of
could-
weapons to give them, that means we're running out of weapons to supply our own people and our own military with those
Yeah.
same weapons. That is
Yeah.
not a
So
good thing.
I
No.
think this is part of Putin has a plot here, and part of it I think is also to grind away NATO's military structure without actually declaring war on NATO, and I think he's achieved that because they blindly. I mean, Germany just sent tanks over there without freaking ammunition. Like, what's the point? You're literally just throwing away equipment.
You know
if you
what?
weaken NATO enough.
That's a genius plan, then. I'm just going to be honest. That's a genius plan. You don't have
You
to
gotta have
declare
respect.
war. Nothing officially goes down. You just continue with what you're doing. And they're handing over their weapons to Ukraine, and you just blow them up.
Yep. And I know the U.S. has like an upgraded version of the Javelin system, and we've taken, our upgraded pieces out, but still, that's still technology that we don't
Costs millions of
necessarily-
dollars, and we don't have the resources and or money to continue to manufacture and send over. Yeah.
Yeah. And these are and each missile, I think it's about $111,000 to make.
That's still ridiculous.
Yeah, and well, that's just making it. That's not transporting it. People trained to
Oh yeah.
upkeep it.
Oh, I know.
mean, it's expensive. I mean, the whole thing's expensive. We just wasting it away, and Putin's over here just like, all right, keep sending it. It's dumb. I think Biden has led NATO into a military catastrophe without even going to war.
It's not even just NATO, it's America. He's led us into a military food shortage catastrophe, a law-based catastrophe, because they just keep writing all these laws, and I don't think any of them have read it either. They know the oversight of it and how it benefits them, and that's it. And they also know a little bit about how it destabilizes and continues to deconstruct the American civilization as a whole, and that and there's like perfect. It gives us another freaking raise, gives us more rights, takes away rights from the American people, and we're winning. And they're thousands, hundreds to thousands of pages long, and there's oh my God, it's no wonder no one's reading them.
Yeah,
Who's actually writing it? It's like they got. I think they have like one of those school websites you can go to cheat on a test, and you literally just type into the search bar the exact title of what you're trying to write about, and it will actually write out a thing. You literally just hold down the space bar. You have to be careful with it because it's like pulling it from Wikipedia and or other relative informational sites, but it's like, what the heck? Because I don't think I want to believe that there's not somebody literally sitting there writing hundreds of thousands of pages for a law. a law. I mean, look at the Constitution. It's what, 20 pages long? Not even, maybe less officially for the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence and everything that give us our rights as a society and American citizens. It does not take 10,000 pages.
No. Nope. They slip all sorts of nasty stuff in between, page
Yeah.
10,000.
I mean, just to make a point to people
Forward.
that like everybody always just goes, "Hey, Apple has a new update. Click update." Even for Android, here's the terms and usage for the new update. No one reads them. There was a man or a woman that won like a couple $1,000 because he or she actually read the in the terms and usage for the newest Apple update at one point, and they hid that in the terms and usage because they wanted to see who actually read it, and only one person won because they read it, and they contacted Apple and said, "Hey, it says in your terms and conditions, hey, this is this, and you win this." And they were like, "All right, well, you actually read it. Here's your money." And they literally just handed her a few $1,000 because it was in the terms and usage. But because this shit is so long and ridiculous, no one reads it. The
Yep.
same goes with the laws. The people writing these laws are essentially given the ideals and words on what needs to be in there about giving the government raises and taking away rights. And just a reminder to everybody out there that the Constitution makes it clear, and the laws governed by our constitutional establishers, that anything that goes against and is repugnant to the Constitution is automatically and immediately null and void, which means it's not law. It is not official. It will never be official because it goes against our rights as a society and American citizens due to our constitutional rights. End of story. So keep an eye on that. People, learn your Constitution. Check it out. If you go to Books a Million, they almost always have a little pocket Constitution right there. It's written, it's typed out, so you don't have to know cursive to read it. Luckily, thank God, people have published this for people to read and stuff. Next thing they're going to be doing is they're going to take out creative reading and writing in schools and stuff so that no one actually knows how to read. Just for the record, people, Google is a wonderful dictionary, and you can actually go to Books a Million or Borders or whatever bookstore you have at your place, buy the Constitution and buy a dictionary. It'll be pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap. I think the Constitution, might the little pocket Constitution, $1 or $2. A dictionary, 2 to 15, depending on what size, hardcover, yada yada. So go spend $20, get a Constitution, get a dictionary, look up the words that you're not sure exactly what they mean. Done.
Yeah.
Learn your rights as an American citizen. Fight for your rights. Don't fight for the rights you already have, demanding that you have them. You already have them. And it's really cringy to see those videos of men and women marching down the street demanding what they already have as a citizen, naturally given by your founding fathers in the Constitution. Quit demanding those things and read up on the reality that you already have them.
Yeah.
That's why there's so many misguided people nowadays, because they don't know what they are capable of, what laws they already have, what freedoms and rights that they have. And that's a very sad thing, because that's what our government is using against us right now. The fact that so many people don't know their rights, freedoms, and constitutional anything is why the government's convinced you that you don't have them. That's why you people are stomping around and demanding the freedoms you already have, because you don't realize you already have them. Look it up, read into your legal rights, learn what you have, and learn how to use it. Utilize your constitutional rights and laws and amendments. Utilize them, and let's bring our country back to what it's supposed to be.
Boom.
Yep.
I said a lot more than I thought I was going to for this.
I honestly have been really quiet today. I think many of you may have noticed. I chugged some chocolate milk before the show, and I gave myself an upset stomach. So sorry about that.
No worries.
So it was a good chocolate. It's that Promised Land midnight chocolate milk. I'm just saying it was worth it.
We are at an
Famous last
hour now.
word.
But
Famous last words. But let me take this moment then to kind of wrap everything up, if you guys don't mind, so I can get a chance to talk. Yeah, I just want to remind everybody to subscribe to our channel, smash that thumbs up button, hit that reminder bell so you're notified when we drop new content. And don't forget to email us at aikoandpsycho@gmail.com. And we will be posting our email address in our description so that you'll have that at your convenience. But email us with a question or a comment or anything, and we will send you a free wallpaper. It's one that you've seen on the screen today. We'd be happy to send that to you free of charge. And just, put the word out there. Let everybody know that, hey, we've got these really cool people talking about some really crazy stuff, and you should listen to it because they got, common sense and some good information and sharing their sources. With that being said, I'll let you guys wrap it up. Thank you, Jordan, for joining us today. And it was a pleasure.
And later on, we will be putting the links to the things we've been reading up on in the description after the video is officially uploaded to YouTube. So it might be a little bit, or tomorrow at the latest or something. That being said, remember to tell your friends about us. Yes, absolutely. And we will be doing other versions of podcasts for fun topics and stuff if anyone's going to be interested. We currently don't have a name for that, so if anyone's watching this and wants to come up with a name, we're going to just talk random stuff that we were originally discussing on this channel before we went political, which we're going to keep this channel as a political and law-based and constitutional source of information and presidential yada yada kind of informational thing, but we're also going to open up another podcast for random talks like we were doing about paranormal and stuff. If you have any ideas on a name for us before we come up with one, please email that to us as well, or write it in the comments below, actually.
I have one. How about Para Weirdos?
That's not a bad idea. Actually, I like that.
Everyday talks with the Para Weirdos. Oh my God, the pair of weirdos. We can spell it pair, Pairo, and then weirdos, pair of weirdos. Oh my gosh,
That's actually,
it's a play on words.
you know what? I think that's the name. Don't bother
Everyday
commenting on a
talks
new
with
name.
pair of weirdos.
Actually,
coming
comment
soon.
a new name. Comment other name ideas. Let us know what you think, and if we find one that's honestly better, we'll go with it.
Boom.
Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any other ideas, make sure to email them to us. Do not put.
Wait, you guys have 48 hours to get that information in, to get your free wallpaper, to put your question in, or anything you want us to talk about. You have 48 hours from right now, which is June 9th at 3:23 p.m. Michigan time.
Let's
So
say
you have 48
3:30. We'll
hours
give them
from
a little
now.
bit more time. 3:30, so that it's an even number.
3:30. So you have
Yeah.
3:30, 2 days from now. So that would be what? What day is today? Thursday, Friday, Saturday at
So it'll be
3:30
the
p.m.
11th. It'll be the 11th on the.
Yep, Saturday the 11th, and we're gonna turn it off then. 3:31 p.m. Boom, the time's up. Ding, 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 ding.
Awesome.
So get your information in. Get your free wallpaper. Ask a question, any question. We might answer
ideas, Give us ideas. If you're going to give us political ideas or any information that is out there, email that to us. Don't put it in the comments. You want to just say that you enjoyed the show or something, please do leave that in the comments. And like and subscribe, favorite, and everything else. Make sure to buy our merch. It's not out yet.
You pre-order it today.
Pre-order the merch that does not exist. Yes, and we will see you guys in the next episode.
Hasta la vista.
Bye.